Super Movie Ninja! Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video of Super Movie Ninja! And, well, guess what? Today, we're reviewing another bad movie. Just like we did last week reviewing two bad movies, we review another bad movie this week. And now, this movie, I'm gonna say it, out of these bad movies I've been reviewing, I was actually excited for this movie. I had a lot more excitement than most people did for this movie, and I was really disappointed by the result. Now, most people were not excited for this movie, and that movie was Madam Web. But I never saw Morbius at the time, so I didn't have this lower degree and quality expectation out of these Sony films. I only saw the first two Venoms and I thought they were very fun movies. Not the highest of quality movies, definitely not Oscar worthy or anything, but I had fun with them and I thought Man Web would be on about the same lines of quality as that. And was I proven wrong? Madam Web is terrible. They just did everything that I didn't want them to do. And I watched Morbius after that, like last week or the week before, not last week, but I just realized these Sony movies are not good. Morbius is potentially worse, in my opinion, than Madam Web. I definitely didn't like either, but I think Morbius is potentially worse. But Madam Web is still very bad, and that's not saying much when it's saying it's better than Morbius. And this movie just was a big disappointment for me. I definitely did not expect it to be this bad. I had a lot more higher expectations for this than most people did. I was actually one of the few people on this planet who was actually hyped for this movie. I wasn't exactly hyped, but for me, Spider Man, it's not with Spider Man, but the universe of Spider Man with the Spider Verse, and those movies are always very intriguing to me, and I especially love the concept of the Spider Verse. And this movie just didn't give me what I thought. Now, I didn't expect it to be like No Way Home or Across the Spider-Verse as far as multiverse aspect goes, but I expected it to still have that sense of multiple realities colliding to make necessarily disruption in time and space, and I kind of expected something more along that line still, and I really didn't get that. I really was hoping to, instead of that, like we still had that, I was really hoping to get like the build out of the multiverse in a sense, the build out of the Spider Verse, and that's what I was hoping. We didn't even get any Spider Verse pretty much. I thought personally we would at least get like a whole scene with her webs showing up and Andrew Garfield in the background, Tobey Maguire somewhere, and Tom Holland, and in the corner like Miles Morales and Gwen. I just expected something very like grand like that. I expected something very grandly built out like that. I really expected something way huger than that. I, for some reason, even expected things like maybe a cameo from Venom. I did not. I That's why I expected, because it's like I thought Sony was trying to go for an MCU style thing here, where you take all of your characters and you do a slow build up to maybe like a team up movie or something. So I thought like maybe a cameo from Venom might be in there. It was never confirmed, but still, I thought maybe something like that, and I just didn't get anything. my expectations were not met at all. And this is just some of the background of my problems of this movie. We haven't even gotten to the real problems with this movie for me. So that's saying how bad this movie truly is. And let's get into what really upset me. The line. It said, with great responsibility comes great power. That takes the whole point away from the original. With great power comes great responsibility line. It takes away the whole point. With the original line, with great power comes great responsibility. It's saying when you have power, you should use it for the good of mankind. You should use it responsibility. And it's your responsibility to use that power for the greater good. And this one, all it's saying is that if you have great responsibility, you somehow have great power. If you have great responsibility from great power, that takes away the and the great that if you have great power from great responsibility, that takes away the whole point of the line. And necessarily, if you're saying something like, with great responsibility comes great power, necessarily all that's happening is you're saying, oh, you have a responsibility to do something, so now you have power. Well, what are you gonna do with that power? Are you getting it because you deserve it or something? Like, how are you getting that power and why are you getting that power? It's like if someone said, hey, Super Movie Ninja, go clean my house. Somehow I have super speed because I have something I should do. The whole point of doing something in any superhero movie or just real life is to use responsibility. And you can't get great power from it. You're supposed to get, if you have that great power though already before the responsibility, you're supposed to have great responsibility. And that's not what this movie is saying. This movie is saying the exact opposite of that. This movie is just an abomination to Spider-Man movies, superhero movies, and movies in general. And that was just crazy, in my opinion. It was very inaccurate from the source material, and Sony should know better at this point. They've made the Tobey Maguire trilogy, the Andrew Garfield movies, and the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy with them, so they should know what formula works best at this point. And they're only making these Sony movies because they're supposed to make a new Spider-Man movie every something years. Well, if you're supposed to do that, actually take the time, maybe that full time you have, and make an actual Spider-Man movie. Something that the people want. Because if you make an actual Spider-Man movie, it's going to make a lot of money. More money than probably making like 5 of those Sony movies in 1 year. And people are actually going to show up to it. It'll probably be good because that's what the people want. They don't want Madam Web. Most people don't even know who Madam Web is. And the acting in this movie is just terrible. I mean, the one villain, he looks like he's lip syncing the whole thing. If the guy doesn't speak English or something, then you shouldn't have casted him at all. Because that looks very unnatural. It degrades the quality of your movie. So you should just put someone who is the right person for this movie at the right time for this movie. You shouldn't be doing something like, I don't know, Casting a guy who doesn't even know one word of English and then lip syncing this whole thing, that's not gonna work. It's just not. And that's the thing. That's the thing they don't know with these movies. That's the thing they won't do with these movies. And then, even with the things that don't look like lip syncing, the acting is just bad. There's no emotion in this acting. There's no depth in this acting. Hell, Megan Fox acts better than most of these people. And Megan Fox is a terrible actress. That's how bad the acting was in this movie. And this movie, if Stan Lee was around to see this, I think he would be disgraced by this. This is Stan Lee's work put into a terrible, 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 terrible movie. And his work deserves better. So will I recommend you see this? No. I don't care if you're the most die-hard Marvel fan, most die-hard superhero movie fan, or the most die-hard movie fan, because I am all of those. This movie is not good. I do not recommend this movie at all whatsoever. If you really want to see this movie, go ahead, but this movie is just not the movie I would recommend to anyone. If you're gonna watch any Spider-Man movie, you can watch literally anyone and have a better time with them than this one. So without further ado, that's all I have to say. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you know that I never miss a video. Without further ado, Super Movie Ninjas! Ow!